The line is this multi-billion-dollar project. It's a city, a modern urban city within the NEOM project. It's meant to be in the desert. It's a linear city that is clad between two mirrored walls. The original plan for it was supposed to be 170 kilometers. But
when most nations are gasping under mountains of debt, the United States crossing $35 trillion, France warning of bankruptcy, and Europe cutting budgets just to keep lights on, one country is doing the unthinkable. Saudi Arabia isn't tightening its belt. It's tearing up the rulebook. While others talk about recession, Riyadh is building a new reality, one that looks less like Earth and more like a scene from science fiction. Floating solar-powered resorts that shimmer over turquoise waters. Hidden mountain cities carved straight into rock. A marina buried beneath the desert, and a stadium suspended 350 meters in the sky. And that's just the beginning. The kingdom is pouring trillions into projects so gigantic that even global architects are calling them impossible. A single city, the Line, may cost between $1 and $2 trillion, while its other ventures are rewriting what it means to live, travel, and worship. But here's the real twist. This isn't about luxury. It's about power. While the West fights over who's going broke slower, Saudi Arabia is quietly rewriting the blueprint of civilization itself. One mirrored tower, one floating villa, one underground city at a time. So the question is not how much they are spending. The question is, what are they really building? A paradise for the rich, a showcase of engineering ego, or the world's first glimpse into humanity's post-oil future? In this video, let's find out. Number 5. The Island Resort, solar-powered luxury, over water. On the tranquil archipelago off Saudi Arabia's Red Sea coast lies one of the most stunning architectural feats of modern tourism, Shabara Island Resort, a project that has redefined what sustainability and luxury can look like when they merge. This resort, celebrated by Time magazine as one of the world's greatest places of 2025, is a masterpiece of design, innovation, and environmental harmony. At first glance, it appears almost ethereal, a futuristic mirage shimmering on the horizon, where every curve and reflection seems to mimic the sea and sky around it. But beneath that visual poetry lies a scientific, calculated brilliance. Every one of the resort's 73 villas, some built directly over the water, was prefabricated in the United Arab Emirates and shipped intact to the island. This decision was not a convenience. It was a conservation strategy. By manufacturing off-site, the developers avoided damaging coral reefs and mangrove habitats, preserving the fragile marine ecosystems surrounding the island. The result is a luxurious destination that leaves behind almost no ecological footprint. Powering this dreamlike environment is not diesel or imported electricity, but the sun itself. The entire island runs on solar energy, supplied by a network of photovoltaic fields that sprawl across 1 million square feet of desert surface. Even the guest pathways and cycling tracks weave through glistening panels that silently convert sunlight into power. This is the world's first truly off-grid luxury resort of such scale, a living demonstration that renewable energy can sustain not just basic living, but indulgence. The architectural vision came from Killa Design, the same firm behind Dubai's Museum of the Future. The mirrored facades of the villas reflect the ever-changing sky, producing an optical illusion that makes the structures appear to float. At sunrise, the surfaces glow gold. At noon, they fade into the blinding white of the desert light. And by sunset, they transform into pools of fire against the Red Sea horizon. Although the total cost has not been publicly disclosed, estimates among regional contractors place it near the $1 billion mark. Yet the monetary figure matters less than what it represents. This is not a vanity project for the elite. It is a signal, a declaration that Saudi Arabia intends to lead a post-oil world through design and innovation. The country that once exported crude energy is now exporting ideas. Number 4. Desert Rock, a mountain resort carved into stone. From the coast, the desert rises inland into a rugged mountain range, and hidden among its cliffs stands Desert Rock, perhaps the most poetic of Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 projects. Where most architects might see barren rock and scorching sun, Saudi engineers saw a cathedral waiting to be carved. Located just 30 minutes from the new Red Sea International Airport, Desert Rock is built into the mountain itself, an architectural gesture so audacious that it feels like nature and civilization shaking hands. Guests who arrive here do not step into a traditional hotel lobby. They descend through a carved entrance that opens into natural rock corridors lit by shafts of sunlight from above. 54 private villas and 10 hotel suites have been meticulously integrated into the cliffside. Some rooms are sculpted directly out of sandstone, others are concealed behind the folds of rock, offering panoramic views of the valley below. The interior walls were built using the very stones excavated from the site, making the structure part of the mountain rather than an intrusion upon it. The environmental philosophy behind Desert Rock mirrors the growing Saudi commitment to sustainable tourism. The resort's design reduces energy use by up to 40% compared to conventional desert architecture, thanks to the thermal insulation provided by the mountain itself. Native vegetation is being replanted along its terraces to restore habitats and control erosion. Water recycling systems nourish these plants using treated greywater, while hidden solar panels provide silent, renewable power. Interestingly, Desert Rock is not a place of spectacle, but of serenity, an architectural meditation. Its world-class spa, natural lagoon, and open-air dining terraces make it an experience that feels both ancient and futuristic. Although its standalone cost remains undisclosed, it is part of the broader Red Sea Project's $3.76 billion green loan, a financing model designed to ensure that luxury development does not come at the expense of the environment. In many ways, Desert Rock transforms Saudi Arabia's old relationship with geology. The kingdom once extracted oil from the earth. Now it extracts beauty. Number 3. Circular farms, transforming the desert into farmland. In the shining glass and futuristic steel, another quieter revolution unfolds far from the cameras, one that could prove even more vital for humanity's future. These are Saudi Arabia's circular farms, vast green circles visible from orbit, spinning silently across the desert like emerald galaxies. Once designed to produce wheat in the 1980s, they nearly drained the kingdom's underground aquifers. But rather than abandon them, Saudi scientists reinvented them for a new purpose: food security through technology. Today, these farms no longer rely on unchecked water extraction. They use AI-driven irrigation systems, climate-controlled sensors, and solar-powered pumps that adjust watering cycles to minute variations in soil moisture. Where wheat once grew, now thrive tomatoes, melons, dates, and even experimental salt-tolerant crops that can survive brackish water. Every drop is measured, recycled, and reused. Satellite imaging helps farmers monitor evapotranspiration, while drones track plant health across thousands of hectares. This transformation is more than agricultural modernization. It's a national reinvention. For decades, Saudi Arabia's prosperity rested on exporting crude oil. Now it is cultivating something even more valuable: self-sufficiency. The Ministry of Environment, Water, and Agriculture has allocated approximately $24 billion toward food tech projects under Vision 2030, aiming to make the kingdom a global leader in desert agriculture. Each circular farm is a statement carved into sand that survival in harsh terrain no longer depends on geography, but on intelligence. The satellite images of these green rings are fast becoming a symbol of Saudi ingenuity. A reminder that even the most unforgiving environments can bloom when science and ambition work together. Before we continue further, tell us, are you enjoying the video? If yes, please like and share the video and subscribe to our channel to watch more videos on the latest news stories on geopolitics, economics, and current affairs impacting your lives. Number 2. Amala. Luxury, wellness, and culture. At scale, further up the Red Sea coast lies Amala, a project so lavish that it has already been dubbed the Riviera of the Middle East. Covering more than 26,000 square kilometers, Amala is not just a tourism development, but an entire lifestyle ecosystem. Its Triple Bay Marina Village is the centerpiece, a glittering hub of high-end hotels, galleries, and retail avenues anchored by the Amala Yacht Club, a breathtaking structure designed by HKS architects to resemble a frozen ocean wave. When complete, Amala will offer over 3,000 hotel rooms and 900 residences, all powered entirely by renewable energy. Solar microgrids will provide electricity, while advanced desalination plants recycle wastewater and return purified effluent to sustain coral nurseries offshore. The project's environmental ethos rivals its aesthetic ambition. Every pier, every walkway, and every stretch of beachfront is engineered to serve as an artificial reef habitat for marine life. The financial scale is as impressive as the environmental conscience. As of 2024, Amala had secured over $1.5 billion in infrastructure financing and awarded contracts worth $6.1 billion, covering utilities, roads, and construction packages. The development will create around 50,000 jobs, providing a model for sustainable employment in a post-oil economy. But Amala is not merely economic. It is cultural diplomacy. Art foundations and wellness institutions from Europe and Asia are establishing outposts here, creating a global creative corridor on Saudi soil. Visitors will encounter a fusion of spa science, Islamic design, and digital art in one destination, merging body, mind, and culture. If successful, Amala could become to the Middle East what the French Riviera was to Europe in the 20th century, a symbol of leisure, taste, and soft power. Number 1. The Line and the Hidden Marina, a city built like a monument. If Shibara and Desert Rock are architectural poems, The Line is a manifesto. It is not a resort, but an idea so vast that it may rewrite what the word city means. Planned as a linear metropolis running 170 kilometers across the desert, the Line forms the backbone of the NEOM megaproject, a region designed to embody the future of human civilization. At its heart lies the Hidden Marina, a project that sounds more like mythology than engineering. Envisioned as a colossal inland port connected to the Red Sea by an artificial canal, this marina spans over 21 million square meters, 60 times the total built-up area of Dubai's Burj Khalifa. Beneath its mirrored skyline lies a labyrinth of foundations anchored by 16,000 piles, each extending more than 50 meters underground. The foundations are made of green concrete designed to cut carbon emissions, and together they form the largest piling operation in recorded construction history. Rising from this base are modules up to 500 meters tall, twin mirrored walls stretching as far as the eye can see, housing homes, offices, schools, and parks. Somewhere in this futuristic corridor, engineers are preparing to suspend an entire stadium in the sky, 350 meters above ground, possibly one of the venues for the 2034 FIFA World Cup. Each section of the city is being prefabricated off-site, shipped in massive pieces, and assembled like components of a giant machine. According to official statements cited in the Saudi Boom and Global Construction Review, the first construction phase alone carries an estimated cost of $140 billion, while long-term forecasts for the entire NEOM project stretch as high as $1 to $8 trillion by 2080. These figures may sound absurd until one realizes what the line truly represents. Not an act of urban planning, but an act of national rebranding. For most of the 20th century, Saudi Arabia was known primarily as an oil economy. The line challenges that perception by positioning the kingdom as a hub of architecture, technology, and environmental design. It is both a symbol and a statement that the impossible can be engineered if a nation possesses the will and the wealth. Yet questions remain. Can mirrored walls endure the desert's searing temperatures? Will millions really live in a city only 200 meters wide? No one knows for sure, but even skeptics admit that Saudi Arabia is attempting what no other country has dared. That is to build a civilization that looks like it came from the 22nd century. Now, when you view all these projects together, you realize they form not a collection of developments, but a national strategy. This is Vision 2030, Saudi Arabia's master plan to transform itself from an oil exporter into a diversified global powerhouse. Economically, the projects are engineered to reduce dependency on petroleum revenues by creating new industries in tourism, technology, agriculture, and entertainment. Politically, they project a new image, one of progress, capability, and creativity, countering decades of stereotypes about the Gulf. Environmentally, they announce the kingdom's intention to be a leader in renewable energy and sustainability, showing that even an oil state can pioneer green innovation. Each project plays a role in this grand narrative. Shabara demonstrates how renewable power can sustain luxury. Desert Rock turns environmental conservation into architecture. The line reimagines what urban life could be in the 21st century. The circular farms prove that agriculture can thrive where rain never falls, and Amala integrates wellness, culture, and technology into a single sustainable experience. Together, they send a message that Saudi Arabia no longer wants to adapt to the global future. It wants to define it. When history is written 100 years from now, these projects may be remembered not only for their architecture, but for their audacity. Few nations have ever attempted to rebuild themselves from the ground up, and fewer still have done so with such precision, creativity, and financial force. Saudi Arabia is doing what once seemed unimaginable, transforming its deserts into theaters of innovation, its mountains into resorts, and its coastlines into laboratories of sustainability. Of course, the risks remain enormous. The cost of maintaining momentum could rise into the trillions. Challenges related to logistics, climate, and long-term feasibility could slow progress. Yet whether these projects reach their full promise or evolve into smaller realities, the legacy will endure. The kingdom has already shifted global imagination, from seeing the desert as an empty expanse to recognizing it as a frontier of human potential. In a world paralyzed by economic crises, Saudi Arabia has chosen motion. In an era of decline, it has chosen ambition. And in a century defined by doubt, it has chosen belief that the impossible can, in fact, be built. And as the mirrored walls of the line stretch toward the horizon and the solar roofs of Shabara glisten above the sea, one truth stands clear. Saudi Arabia isn't just constructing cities, it's constructing history. What do you think? Should countries like the United States learn from Saudi Arabia and spend trillions on projects instead of wars? Is Saudi Arabia building the future of humanity, or a luxury playground for billionaires? In the comment section below, share your thoughts on whether this transformation will make the world admire Saudi Arabia. Do you want to watch more videos like this one? If yes, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon next to it. We bring the latest news stories on geopolitics, economics, the changing world order, and current affairs. Things you need to stay informed. Thanks for watching, and until the next video, stay tuned.